Welcome back to your newest favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, where BitBoy and JChains get together each week to talk about crypto and things happening in the community. They will bring you some special guests and giveaways, so make sure you're subscribed. For all show-related news, you can find the guys on various social media outlets. Everything is listed on the official show Twitter account, @BeardsBitcoins. Now, without further introduction, two dudes that have beards, like Bitcoins, and want to talk to you about both, BitBoy and JChains.
Hey everybody, welcome back to your favorite podcast. We got a special 30th episode today of Beards and Bitcoins. Yeah, that's right.
It's that dirty 30, baby.
Turning 30 over the hill, you know, almost 1 foot in the grave. So so I am your co-host, BitBoy. That is your other co-host, JChains. How are you doing, JChains?
I'm doing well, man. It's been just a couple days since we saw each other again. I feel like we've done a few of these kind of in a row, which is great. It's always good to talk to you. Work week it's a lot easier than it was last week, so I'm doing good, man. Hey, what about you?
Yeah, man, week's been, pretty hectic for me. Every week is pretty hectic. So, really looking forward to coming hanging out with you next week in Texas. So,
yeehaw, baby. Don't forget your boots.
I'm bringing my chaps.
It's funny, crypto movement. I see you're wearing the shirt today. On Twitter today, said that he was going to send me some assless chaps for Texas. I'd wear them proudly. I don't think it's not actually going to happen, and I love him for saying that. But I'd wear them. I'm just saying.
I bet you would. I would be hopefully not at the same place. So. Probably. But we are joined by a guest today. We have Claudio from the KryptosChain YouTube channel. How are you doing, man?
Very good, very good. Thank you guys for inviting me. I really appreciate it. And sorry I don't have a beard. I was trying to grow it, but it just gets really itchy, so I thought, I'll scrap it. I'll let you guys have the beards.
That's
I just have the headset.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, we're glad to have you. Looking forward to talking about all sorts of stuff. I think we're going to focus on what's going on in China, right?
Yeah. So, my name is Claudio. I've got the YouTube channel KryptosChain, like Ben was saying. And basically, the main focus on my channel is to create cryptocurrency reviews, news, demos, and video casts in a simple way, right? Obviously, the video casts are not really in a simple way because you do need to go into a bit of detail. But I basically try to structure them in a specific way with specific questions so as not to drag them too long, right? So that people don't get bored, right, watching them. So I try to keep everything as simple as possible. And my main focus is the Chinese projects, which are Neo and Ontology. Initially, I started just looking at all the cryptocurrencies, but then I decided to focus only on Neo because at the time when I started, Ontology was quite new. So the reason why I chose Neo is because I thought it was less scammy than Ethereum. I know you may say Ethereum is not scammy, but I'm not actually referring to Ethereum itself, but to the dApps that are trying to create on their blockchain, right? Create the tokens, the ERC20 tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. So because there were so many ICO scams back in the day in early 2018 when I started my channel, I basically thought, look, Neo looks more legit simply because it's very expensive to deploy a smart contract on Neo. It cost something like 490 gas, which at the time was about $8,000. So not very cheap, and that basically clips away all the scams. I'm not saying there couldn't be scams, but at least, it filters them out a bit. So this is the main reason, basically, why I kind of focused on Neo.
Very good.
Yeah, a lot of the dApps on Ethereum are sketchy. I know at one time the number one dApp on Ethereum was a Ponzi scheme. It was basically like BitConnect 2.0. But yeah, so we'll get a little more into that. I thought it'd be really interesting to talk about the Chinese projects. My involvement with IOST. Well, you guys know I am involved pretty heavily. I do have a node on their network. There's something I keep seeing, which is it keeps comparing IOST to the top 3 blockchains, which are in terms of decentralized platforms for dApps and things like that, which are EOS, Tron, and Ethereum, and yet they never include Neo. I never see it compared to Neo, and so interested to kind of get into that, figure out what separates Neo from these other projects, and a lot of people want to know, is it dead? So that's some things we'll definitely look at. But let's do our Monarch Crypto Twitter shout out. Trying to lock Monarch in as a sponsor for our BitBus promotion we got going on. A lot of you guys may not know we have the Bit Bus promotion where you get to come ride a bus with me and Jay Chains and Crypto Breakfast and Crypto Wendy O and Shill Nye and Omar from Crypto's News.
A bunch of people.
$100
I think there's
from LA to San Francisco. So
about 15 people that'll be on the bus to do some interviews, hang out, chit chat, all sorts of ticket packages, and I think there's more to come on that.
Yeah, it's heading up to San Francisco for Bitcoin 2019 conference in June. So hopefully Monarch's going to be on board with us as a sponsor of that, but they are the sponsor of the Crypto Twitter shout out. So where we take people on Crypto Twitter and we shout them out because we think that they are doing some cool stuff. Like I said, brought to you by Monarch. You guys check it out, monarchtoken.io. So who wants to go first? Who you got, Claudio?
Yeah, so I want to give a shout out to the Crypto Table Talk VIP group on Telegram, which is composed of Justin, Donathan, who's also an active YouTube viewer. He watches a lot of you guys' videos. He really enjoys them. He's basically always up to date with the crypto news and everything, right? And also Davos and Lil Gaines. So these 4 people I want to give a big shout out to. I basically always chat to them on Telegram. So yeah, big shout out to them.
Very good. What about you, BitBoy? Who are you going to shout out today?
Got an interesting shout out today.
Ooh.
I want to give a shout out to the BBC, at BBC. That is the British Broadcasting Corporation. I want to thank them. I want to thank them for being similar to the soup Nazi on Seinfeld. I made an intro for one of my YouTube videos, and they said, no soup for you, and they would not let me use it because I took some footage of what I find to be one of the most exhilarating nature videos I've ever seen. It's from the Planet Earth series. It's, I believe, on an Ecuadorian island off the coast. And it is iguanas being chased by snakes. And it is so intense. You guys got to watch it. Snakes are slithering through the sand and they're hidden. You can barely see them and they pop out. And these iguanas are just trying to, once they're born, as soon as they're born, they pop out of the little egg and these snakes are after them and they're running. Like that's their welcome to life. It's so intense. And it shows so many different cases of these iguanas being chased by the snakes, but it shows this one where this iguana is being chased. These snakes are after it. All of a sudden out of nowhere, snakes come and just catch the iguana. You think it's over. You think it's dead. You feel sorry for the iguana. And then it slips out of the grasp and it runs up. I made a meme out of it. I said, this is like Bitcoin, You always got somebody trying to catch you, whether it was Mt. Gox, with the Mt. Gox crash, trying to bring Bitcoin down, whether it was, crypto bans from different countries trying to bring crypto down. Then the SEC and the IRS and the U.S. government got that stranglehold and it slithered out. And, it's just trying to run free. Bitcoin's trying to run free to this world, economic revolution that we're heading for. And so anyways, the point is the BBC blocked my intro on a copyright violation.
That's cold.
Hey, I'm a creator. I should be able to, that's cold-blooded like an iguana,
Yeah.
So you need to try and survive like the iguana, basically, from day one.
So I said, you know what, BBC, you're not going to let me do this on my YouTube video. That's fine. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to put it on Twitter by itself. It's a standalone video meme, and it has gone friggin' viral. It's been out for 12 hours now. It's got 30,000 views on it, and it's got about 30,000 views on it. It's still going, and really looking forward to seeing how far it's going to go after 24, 36 hours. Actually had somebody this morning send me a news article. Someone wrote a news article about my meme. So thank you, BBC, for all the extra publicity I got that I never would have gotten if you would not have blocked my intro. And now all of Crypto Twitter has got to enjoy it. So I felt like it was very important to shout out the BBC. So
well done. Very good. Very good.
Sometimes a good block ends in a good result.
That's true. And viral videos are very, very hard to come across nowadays as well. I mean, a lot of us content creators just think about what could we actually produce to make it viral. It's just very hard, right, with cryptocurrency. You need to do it in a way to not look like you're clickbaiting, right? Because this is what the first thing that comes to people's minds when they see a clickbaity title. They're like, I'm not going to click on this. This guy is talking bullshit.
But that's not true, though. They do click on it. That's why you have to
get the financial advice. To get the financial advice, remember Ben's rule: watch 5 YouTubers and invest in crypto. That's it.
That's it. That's the best advice I can give you. Do your own research. Watch my video and then do whatever I do.
That's pretty good. That's how you get people to do the right thing.
So what about you, Jay Chains? Who you got?
I'm going to shout out to the gentlemen that are help throwing the big event that we will be down celebrating in Texas in the next 2 weeks. April 6th, the Bitcoin Ben event is co-thrown by the Wild West Crypto Show guys. So you can find them on Twitter. I think it's at WWCSTX. So the Wild West Crypto Show TX for Texas on Twitter. But yeah, so those guys are co-throwing the event. I mean, they've made it super affordable for everyone. I think the tickets are only $20. Bring the family out. I think like kids are even free or something like that. All the information's on their website. You can check it out. But we just kind of want to shout those guys out. You know, it's an event that's close to my home. It's also a charity event. It's 100% charity focused. So all the proceeds are going straight to charity. So it's a good thing. Again, it's close to home and it's going to be fun. Because I'm going to be dressed up as a cowboy. I don't know about you, Ben, BitBoy, but I'm going to be dressed up like
I'm definitely not doing any cowboy dressing for sure.
You're going to dress up as the BitBoy Superman, you know, the superhero.
I have an extra hat,
like your logo.
So I will have it on there for you so that you can wear it. Or we'll probably get one. You'll get one from Bitcoin Ben because I think they were giving away 1,000 to the first 1,000 people or something like that.
When I was a kid, my dad was really into cowboy stuff. You know, he had the cowboy hats and the boots, and I really resented that. I didn't like it. You know, whatever your parents think are cool, you don't think it's cool. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He always called me a yuppie. So, yo, some kind of yuppie over here. You got the old yuppie in the family. And look at me now.
Look at you
Still
now.
Living in the South.
Where would be your favorite place to live?
My favorite place to live?
Yeah.
Right where I'm at. Atlanta, Georgia.
So you're not looking to move to a different state, basically. You're happy with it.
No, I mean, I might at some point, just due to some crypto entertainment stuff I got going on, I might move to California. Texas would be a close second, but I've been a lot of places. I lived in Miami. I mean, I've been all around the United States, and it's probably just due to the fact that I grew up in this area, Metro Atlanta. But you know, I like the neighborhoods here. I like the way the houses are designed. You know, you go other places and like, you know, I go to other cities. I'm like, these houses are so small and you pay so much for them. Here we got a great housing market. So, you know,
you got to meet Rick Grimes as well over there because that's where it all started, right?
Oh, this is my Walking Dead dude. Did you see the episode the other night?
No, I haven't watched it. Please don't spoil it for me. I need to watch it. Like I was telling you, I recently moved house, so I'm just getting everything sorted. Man. You know, it's been a bit hectic. But yeah, I'm planning to watch it.
Maybe the best scene of The Walking Dead ever.
Yeah.
I was like a loyal fan for like the first couple of years, like when it was super popular. But then like other shows, you know, came along and I kind of drifted away and stuff. But
still my favorite.
I mean, I just haven't caught up in the last couple of years. I need to catch up. We've been watching this new show on Netflix called Schitt's Creek.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Man, I don't really mess with comedies. I'm more serious, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah. I like horror ones. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't get into.
You're The Walking Dead as well. I also watched that. So.
Well, Walking Dead to me is not horror. I don't get into horror because, and I've never gotten into zombie stuff either. But my wife hates. Well, we talked last week about.
You're gonna get yourself in trouble again, bro.
I know. I got in trouble last week, but she hates horror. Like she can't even watch a trailer for, you know, if we're watching TV and there's a trailer for any horror movie, she goes like this. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! You know, she can't even look at it. So because of that, just over the years, we've been married 10 years now, you know, like I just got to where I don't watch them either, really, you know. I mean, I would
watch
never.
Your channel?
What's that?
Does she watch our channel?
Sometimes.
Oh, so she may see this.
Oh, well, she's in the other room. I know she heard me. First thing I said when I walked out from recording on Sunday with Laura from DigiByte, she said, "What'd you say about me in there?"
She suspected it. She suspected it.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you were going to get in trouble. We knew you were going to get in trouble for that one. That's fine.
Yeah. So anyways, all right, well, cool. Well, that is our Twitter shout out brought to you by monarchtoken.io. So let's move on and talk about the main subject we're going to be talking about today, which is basically Neo. So a lot of people think that Neo is dead, right? Yeah. It's been falling in the rankings, hasn't had a lot of news come out. However, a lot of people do like Ontology, but a lot of people think that Neo is not, it's kind of peaked. So what would you say to those people? Do you think it has? Do you think it's will ever be able to catch back up. Let's just kind of
Yeah.
get general.
First of all, I want to say I don't believe it's dead, right? I think it's very much alive and it's going to continue to grow a lot, especially since the recent DEF CON in Seattle. But the other thing I want to say is, why do people think it's dead? Maybe because of the lack of marketing. Because we've seen it with projects like Tron, we've seen it with projects like Ripple, who've got the money, right? They've got the funding and they're really good at marketing. So because they constantly market themselves regardless of the state of the market, obviously it helps them, right? Because that keeps the momentum going. And people always hear about updates, people always check things out. You know, people are always on Telegram, right? People that invested in these projects are always on Telegram. So if they're not seeing any updates, and especially because Neo doesn't have an official Telegram page either, right? So that doesn't really help them too much, right? Because you don't get that interaction. So there are many Telegram pages which are like community-based ones, like NEP5 projects, Neo Economy, Neo News, you know, these kind of things, but nothing official.
In NEP5, that's basically similar to ERC20. It's there.
Yeah, NEP5 is the token on the Neo blockchain. So any dApps which create which want to deploy a smart contract to the Neo blockchain is basically an NEP5 token. So yes, that's how that is. So yeah, basically is the lack of marketing. And I think the other thing is the centralization aspect of it. People are not too happy about that. And the reason why I'm saying centralization is because Neo used to own 6 of the 7 master nodes that they had. The city of Zion, which are a group of developers which are supporting the Neo ecosystem, own 1 of the master nodes. However, now they've distributed 1 of the master nodes to another company, a Dutch telecom company called KPN. So, and they're going to be distributing more. So they're going to be down to owning 3 master nodes at some point next month. Now, it's not 100% confirmed yet, but it is coming. So we're going to see Neo becoming decentralized eventually, right? They're taking it slowly, but it will eventually happen, hopefully at some point in 2019. So with the office in Seattle, right, that's very important because we know that the crypto banning situation in China, right? So people can't access exchanges on there, people can't mine. So that's actually a bit of a problem, right? Because when you have this issue, then what do you do, right? So yeah, it kind of restricts them. Let's just say that the government is kind of involved and they restrict them. So, and also you got to look at it from a different point of view. So the Chinese culture is different, right? So they don't market maybe in the same way as you're used to in the US, right? US people Americans are really good at marketing, let's be honest, right? So you get all these like, teleshopping shows in the US where they market like this Hoover and they make it seem like it's the best Hoover in the world. And you guys are going to love this Hoover because you can do this and that. And you know, and you guys are really good at that sort of stuff. Well, the Chinese aren't really that good at that sort of stuff. So if we look at it from this point of view and try to put ourselves from their point of view, from their shoes, basically, then we'll understand the reason behind that and why it's not so hyped. However, talking about that, Ontology, which is was an NEP5 token as well on the Neo blockchain,
which
they had no ICO.
By the way.
Yeah. So they're on their own blockchain as well. They've expanded. Yeah.
So it's 17 and Neo is 18.
Oh wow.
Yes. They're basically above Neo at the moment in terms of coin market cap. But Ontology have been doing really, really well in marketing, right? And simply because they learned from Neo's mistakes, right? Because they obviously see what Neo are doing and what other projects are doing, and they're obviously trying to make sure that they're always keeping people hyped, keeping people up to date. And to be honest, it's not just fake hype, it's all these partnerships that they're building. So this is what people want to see. Hence why the price is growing steadily now, right? We're seeing Ontology is trading around 123, 125, something like that. So it's been holding quite steady, even with this recent dip that we had yesterday or 2 days ago. So yeah, I do think that again, Neo is kind of following, if you've noticed. So Neo I basically think that Neo bottomed out around $5, $4.90 or $5. That was pretty much the bottom in terms of 2018, 2019, after the bear market started. Yeah, I mean, I think that these projects are going to continue to grow, and I think they just need more time because you got to remember that they're quite young, right? They've only started, so you got to give them time, right? Nothing happens overnight, and people may argue that, well, in cryptocurrency, things move very fast because if you don't move fast, you're going to have competition, and obviously the competition is going to take you over, and they're going to do maybe the same thing that you're trying to do, but 10 times better. So how do you fight against that, right? How do you compete?
Absolutely.
So yes, I do think that they have the power. I do think the city of Zion are going to continue supporting them. They've got the dev power. So I think that Neo are going to continue to grow. And with this office in Seattle, I think things are going to start to spread out and extend.
Now, is the state of regulatory issues in China going to inhibit any of this kind of positive growth that you see?
Well, that's to be confirmed, to be honest, because one of the recent news that I've actually heard about recently is a largest political meeting in China is actually ongoing right now, and it's called 2 sessions. So political advisors are actually calling for clear and strict crypto regulations during this meeting, right? So we need to see what they're going to come out with, right? We may get some response sometime in April. So in April, we may see either Neo and Ontology and all these Chinese projects going up really, really quickly, obviously because, you know, China may create some sort of regulation which is more friendly and may allow Chinese people to invest, or everything will just crash to the ground. And in that case, you know, Neo are prepared for it because this is the reason why they've opened an office in the US, and Ontology are also looking to open an office in the US. So we don't know what's going to happen. You know, it's in the sky at the moment. It's a coin throw. Anything could happen. And to be honest, the Chinese government have been quite strict when it comes to this. It's like they're saying we're embracing the blockchain technology, but then, okay, if you embrace it, why don't you let people do it? Let people invest, you know, let people choose what to invest in. It's their own money at the end of the day. They've paid their taxes, right? This is the way I see it. So, yeah.
Well, they want the technology. They want to be able to take advantage of the technology, but the Chinese government does not like the freedom that comes along with crypto and blockchain.
Exactly. Especially the privacy aspect. They're really scared about that. And on that topic, we've actually got another project called The Key, which are creating a digital identity verification system, basically to replace the Chinese social security system, right?
Mm-hmm. They're working with the government. And
they're working with the government. That's it. The CEO is actually partnered with the government. And we're supposed to hear some big news from them in June as to whether the Chinese government are going to approve the identity verification, the IDV, or not. And also in April, we're going to hear about the regulations. So it kind of coincides. Are we going to get some positive news? Maybe not. I don't know. We have to see.
Yeah,
I'm positive about it, but I'm also a bit scared, to be honest, because, you know, China have the power. They are a communist country, so anything can happen.
Speaking of privacy, one of the projects that I like really kind of believe and look into and is Apollo. I don't know if you know anything about Apollo. It is a privacy coin. One of the features that they have is an IP masking, and it has, I believe, been tested from China that, I mean, they can have these transactions, and it masks everything. It is totally private, totally anonymous, and I mean, they can even mask the IP and everything so that there's ways around that. And I think that it's like specific to like, you know, to address an issue with China. Do you know anything about any other projects maybe coming out of China or in the region that, you know, may have technology or capability like that?
No, to be honest, no. I'm only aware of these ones. It's very hard, to be honest, to follow all these different projects because there are just so many out there. So I just try to focus on the main ones, basically, especially because on my channel, I mostly cover the Neo news and the dApps on the Neo blockchain. So you can imagine all the different updates that we get from all these different dApps and what they're trying to do. So I'm just trying to basically focus on those.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what is it that separates Neo from, you know, the triumvirate of EOS, Tron, and Ethereum? It's not ever mentioned with those projects. Those are 3 decentralized platforms that are all working, all have mainnets, all have dApps running on them currently, and also IOST included. But I don't ever see Neo compared to those. What is it that separates Neo that kind of puts it on an island, you think?
I think it's China, to be honest. I'm just going to be honest. I think it's China. And simply because of the current situation there, people are just scared and they just don't want to compare them. It's like, that's the Chinese Ethereum and that's it. I don't know what they think of Ontology, though. I know Neo is the Chinese Ethereum, but what's Ontology? So yeah, that's interesting. One of the things I don't like about Ontology, though, is the centralized aspect of it. They currently own 7 of the consensus nodes. And some time ago, apparently, their blockchain was shut down for like a few minutes or something like that. And obviously, they went back online. Everything was okay. Actually, sorry, it was a few hours. Everything went back online. Everything was okay. The team apologized. And it just shows you, right? What's the point, right? It's centralized. You need to decentralize it. So slowly they're going to be working on that, and they're going to do the same as Neo. But we need to give them time. At the moment, they're basically improving their partnerships, trying to build something. So talking about building, blockchain gaming is kind of a big thing now that Ontology and Neo are focusing on, and mostly Ontology. We've got an example of a game called Hyper Dragons Go by Mixed Marvel, where it's kind of similar to CryptoKitties, except you're growing dragons and you're breeding dragons and you're fighting and you're gaining experience and all these kind of things. So it's not for everyone. Some people don't like them, right? But but there are a lot of people out there, right, that like blockchain gaming. And when you think about blockchain gaming, it's not 100% decentralized either, right? Because it's just nearly impossible at the moment with the speed of the blockchain to have every single action within a game on the blockchain. Imagine every single move that a character makes to be on the blockchain. You move left, you move right, every single transaction. Right now, it's not really possible. At least not at the moment, maybe in the future. So it's hybrid. So even decentralized exchanges, they're hybrid as well at the moment. I haven't heard of one which is 100% decentralized.
Hey, BitBoy, if you had to pick one of these in order to stay in the crypto space, but you had to like really kind of start promoting hardcore CryptoKitties or blockchain cuties.
Blockchain cuties all day.
What about you,
Blockchain
Claudio?
cuties, I'm all over it.
I haven't even heard of blockchain cuties.
Listen, guys,
It sounds good. So
I don't understand. Okay, when I was a kid, right? When I was in middle school, these things got real popular. Tamagotchis or Tamaguchis. You guys remember those things? They're like little digital pets. You know, they came with a little device, and you would feed the pet, and you would freaking. I thought it was the dumbest thing, and all my friends were like, "I got a Tamagotchi!" Oh, like go buy a freaking puppy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I never understood it. I never understood why someone would want to have a digital pet and try to freaking feed it and walk it and all this stuff.
The money.
Oh, like
they're making money from.
You got to feel bad.
Or are you talking about before the time of cryptocurrencies?
Oh, before that, like it's been so I don't remember. So BitBoy and I are probably about the same age. We're in our mid-30s, and like we didn't have this kind of garbage as kids growing up. Like I didn't have, technology wasn't a thing. You went outside and you played outside.
Yeah.
But like I remember all of my siblings had these little devices, like you're talking about the Tamagotchis, and then it was like some other thing that was like some other pet that you had to like whatever, and then the babies.
And even Pokemon. Pokemon's kind of the same.
Pokemon.
Thing too.
Yeah,
all that stuff. So like that was something we totally missed. I have same thing with you, man. I've never been able to understand the obsession with a digital pet. Like, get yourself a dog or a goldfish. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like I did for the life of me. And these are the games that are popular. And if you go to the App Store on your iPhone and you want to download a game, you got to weed through so many of these games that are like, oh, open your own store and build it up to do this, or make your own amusement park, or grow your own pet. I'm like, why? I don't want to do that. You know what I want to do? I want to play a card game. I want to play freaking something like Tetris. I want to play, poker. You know what I'm saying? I want to play like Mortal Kombat where I can like punch somebody, like I don't want to, I don't get into RPGs. I don't get into growing freaking pets. I don't get into all this stuff. But these are the popular games on the blockchain, the dApps. Tron has got one. I think it's called something Warriors or something. It's like you grow a fighter. It's the same crap. Like I don't understand why people love this. And people are listening right now and they're like, BitBoy, I don't understand why you don't love it. I love to grow my pets, and I'm sorry, okay? I don't understand you. I can't deal with you right now.
Ain't nobody got time.
Move on in a second, I promise.
That's good. Yeah, and the amount of money they make is crazy. So these guys, right? They've got this pool, which basically any taxes, any fees that people are paying. So, for example, if I want to buy your dragon, you're selling it for a specific price, right? But you actually pay a 3.75% of the fee in Ontology Gas ONG. So this fee actually goes to the prize pool. So prize pool is visible to everyone, and these guys are making between 5,000 ONG and 12,000 ONG per week, which they're redistributing to the players.
Yeah.
Do we know dev people? Because I got an idea right now. Let's do a beard growing game. You just put your You're
You
facing
start
a-
as a boy, you grow into a man, and then you have to grow your beard, and the person with the longest beard wins. And you can do like little, designs with your beard.
you can curl your
You
mustache.
can curl your mustache. We can get stash involved.
Crypto stash. Yeah.
Yeah, we can get this going, and you can sell your stash. You can sell your beard.
Like you can grow it and like donate it to Locks of Love.
This is genius. This is genius.
So
We need
if you're a dev and you're listening, contact us, please.
Yes, we want to create.
I'm a dev, but I'm a database
on
dev.
the blockchain.
So
All right,
I
well,
can't help you from the application side of mine.
All right, perfect. You're in.
So okay, I want to talk about something else real quick. We will actually move on, even though that was like more fun than everything else we're talking about. With Ontology and Neo, like a lot of people say, I know some pretty connected high up people who say that they believe that basically Neo is getting left to the sidelines and all the attention is getting put on Ontology. Now, the funny thing about this is, ever since I started hearing this, Neo has been dropping and Ontology has been moving up, and Ontology now has passed Neo. Basically, here's the idea. It's if you had two racehorses, right? You have two racehorses, you're trying to train them for the Kentucky Derby, but you got two on your team. Would you rather split your resources and try to train both of those horses to compete when only one of them is going to be able to win? Or would you rather take all of your resources and pour it into the horse that you think is better? And that is kind of the principle that on-chain is ever since Ontology and Neo signed this memorandum of understanding, it's like all of the focus went to Ontology. What do you think about that?
Yeah, personally, I'm more of an Ontology supporter. I'm going to tell you the truth. I own more Ontology than I own Neo, and I believe that Ontology may do better, but I just don't think that Neo is going to die out. This is the reason why I was saying that I'm continuing to focus on Neo and its dApps. Now, a lot of their dApps are obviously going to their own blockchains. They're migrating. You've got Phantasma Chain. You've got the Key, which are looking at also migrating. For now, they're staying on Neo. Quite a lot of them, right? So,
Deep brain
and
chain.
actually, because you were talking about poker, I just wanted to say that one of the City of Zion developers, Dean Van something, I always forget his surname, is from Holland. He's the CEO of NOS, which are basically a decentralized operating system on the Neo blockchain. They're actually creating all these cool poker games where you can win prizes in cryptocurrency. So you may be interested in that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm interested in poker for
because
sure.
I know you like poker, so yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting. TronBet is coming out with poker very soon, so
Tron as
by
well.
the end of the month. Maybe.
It's not with BitTorrent tokens, right?
No.
Anti.
Yeah, you can use BitTorrent tokens on there. You can with TronBet. You can use Anti, Tron, or BitTorrent. So.
Yeah, I was doing some trading with BitTorrent tokens a while ago, and when you were just like trading up and down a lot, it's just perfect trading opportunity. And one guy from the crypto table talk group kept on joking with me, is like, dude, why are you trading BitTorrent? Why BitTorrent? It's crap. I'm like, man, it's perfect for trading. It's perfect for trading, right? The supply is humongous, right? I'm not going to invest in it, but for trading, I think it's awesome. So I was just taking advantage, obviously, because of the ups and downs for day trading. I'm not a trader, so I just basically tested it out, but it's been working fine. So,
gotta get those scoops.
Exactly.
I like scoops.
I just get so tired of hearing people say that. I hear people say this all the time. BitTorrent was working fine before it had a token. It doesn't need a token. This is stupid. It's a token for illegal downloading. Like, yeah, that's part of it, but that's not what this is going to be. Something so much bigger. They're planning on having something similar to, the Amazon Cloud Services.
Debit card as well.
Yeah, that as well. They're going to be doing storage solutions for data, which you're going to be able to use the BitTorrent token to be able to speed up, the movement of that data. And here's the big thing that everybody is like, people just get stuck on these narratives. They hear stuff and they regurgitate it. They feel like they're smart because the groupthink is, BitTorrent doesn't need a token, blah, 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 blah. Have you read the white paper? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to say to people. Have you read the white paper? Do you know the marketing plan for this? Do you know where this is going? They have a streaming service that's supposed to be able to compete with YouTube and Netflix, launching by the end of this year. And that's where the BitTorrent token is also going to be, an important aspect of that as well. So
we know Justin Sun's very good at marketing as well. So that's going to be marketed really well.
Yeah, they hate Justin Sun, He's a great marketer, but he's not a dev. He's a marketer. And, people hate him. And so immediately they spin these narratives without actually – I encourage every single person who hates BitTorrent and Tron, go look at that BitTorrent white paper. Go look at the plans that Tron has for BitTorrent and then come back and have a conversation. Because I'm getting so tired of having these conversations with naive people that don't understand the full, breadth of exactly what they're doing.
I've noticed that a lot of the Bit Squad guys are Tron supporters, so you're okay with that. I don't know if there are any that don't like Tron. Maybe there are some, but
there's a few. And you know what? I'm okay if you hate. And if people don't like Tron, that's fine. And if you don't like BitTorrent, that's fine. If you want to say that the streaming service is going to fail, that's fine. But just come armed with the knowledge of what it's actually doing instead of repeating something you saw some big account on Twitter say.
Yeah. And actually, talking about China and cryptocurrency regulations and banning and all that, I actually wanted to give another shout out to one of the guys from the Bit Squad. I did promise him I'm going to mention him, right? Because he said he's going to be watching the stream, and I think I know you know who I'm talking about. Is JD from the Bit Squad. He was talking about New York. He was saying that they're very strict on cryptocurrencies. Remember that conversation, and that they claim that they're going to protect you and all that stuff, right? So, but in reality, he feels so protected. So that was absolutely awesome. I just wanted to mention that in the video. It's like, what's the story with New York, though? I mean,
well, New York just has different regulation for Bitcoin. It's got, you can't open an exchange there, or you can't open an exchange, but they got their own regulatory commission or something like that. They got weird rules in New York City. It is freaking insane. Like they had rules. You can't have a soda over 40 ounces or something like that.
Yeah, because the sugar, because they were trying to monitor. And Chris Christie, who was like the mayor or whatever, was like 800 pounds. He's the one that like.
No, he's from New Jersey.
Oh, you're right. I'm getting my stories confused. But yeah, I was living there at the time, which was crazy. Yeah, they banned.
Bloomberg was the one that was.
That's who it was. You're right.
That crazy stuff in there. They got rid of cigarette. I mean, they just got rid of every. They want to be your health police. Which is funny because that's what communist countries do. They do it in the sake of protection, just like we were talking about. So here's the thing, guys: we don't need to be protected from Bitcoin. Sorry.
So what about, for example, I know that gambling sites, right? They're not allowed in some of the U.S. states, right? I'm assuming New York is one of them, right?
Almost all states. There's Nevada, and I believe Pennsylvania. And New Jersey for sure. So I believe those are the 3 states. There might be a couple other ones. Basically, poker and gambling has to be legal in your state first, right? Yeah. A lot of states have casinos, but it can't be Indian casinos. Those are totally different. Like Georgia doesn't have any casinos. We don't have Indian casinos. We don't have anything, and so we can't play online poker. But, we have places you can play still. There's an interesting place where I recently found called Global Poker. And what they do is it's all play money. Here, check this out. So you buy play money on the site. You buy like 50,000 play chips, but it says with your 50,000 play chips for $20, we'll give you $20 in what we call sweeps cash. So sweeps cash is like their other version of play money, right? Except for you can convert that play money over to cash and withdraw it. Basically, the way they've set it up is where it's like a sweepstakes instead of it's poker. And you're playing with their own internal token, kind of, I guess. It would be a good comparison. It kind of reminded me of crypto a little bit. So I've been playing on there last week, and it's been pretty fun. There's a lot more fish on there than some of the other.
That's what you want to do. You're a shark, right? You're just trying to catch the fish.
Let me tell y'all, when that Tron poker
tight aggressive style.
When that Tron poker comes out, and it's all a bunch of people in the Tron community that want to play poker because they like to gamble but don't really know how to play poker.
Clean it up
on my live stream.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I'm excited about that. That'll be fun. So, well, what do you think, Jay Change? You got any more questions about Neo, China? What do you think?
I don't. I'll have to go back and do some more research. I like what you mentioned in the beginning of the episode. I was the firm believer that Neo was on her way out, and was kind of looking more at ontology. So yeah, I'll just keep doing some research and looking into it. It's kind of an arena that I really haven't focused much on. I focus on the privacies. Anybody with a philanthropy as a focus, I do believe that. And I'm looking at some other things, so I'll do my own research. But I appreciate having you on, man. It was great to learn some stuff. And when we get time for our beard game, our bearded kitties or whatever it'll
Bearded
be called.
kitty.
Yeah. Well, I'll hit you up for some dev stuff.
I think he froze.
He's frozen.
He's frozen. We got to the very end. We're closing out, and he got frozen.
But it was a good episode. It was fun to talk to him and learn some stuff. Because again, like I haven't been focused on anything in China. All I know is that they banned stuff, so it's off my list of research. What's your takeaway from today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know if I learned anything new per se. I mean, I kind of knew about some of those other projects, but it's fun to revisit a project like Neo that I used to be very bullish on and I've kind of, turned on. And, I don't know. I'll take kind of the other view from him. Claudio said he believes that, it is going to last. He's back.
He's back, baby.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, you're back.
Perfect. Sorry about that. I just got cut off. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's okay. But I'm going to take the other view. Claudio said he thinks that Neo is still going to survive. He's going to keep moving on. I think Neo is going to die, personally. I don't think it is going to be around for that much longer. I think it had a meteoric rise. And I think that, Ontology has kind of taken its place. You can't serve two masters. And I feel like that's what's going on in that situation. So I do believe Ontology is going to turn out to probably be the number one, Chinese project. And Neo will probably fade away. That's my personal opinion, So it'll be really interesting to see what happens with a lot of these projects, these Net5 tokens that are ran on Neo. I don't know if that means the Neo blockchain will die. Maybe it'll continue and they'll continue to run, or maybe it'll be forced to move somewhere else. I think that, there are other options or projects that do want to move. So, that's my opinion on it.
I really liked your metaphor about, if you've got the two horses, where are you going to focus? Where are you going to, because it's a great metaphor to, anybody could understand. It's like, I thought that was great. So,
and what people need to understand is they need to stop with the moon boy attitude, right? And I'm just going to be really honest, because a lot of people are basically focused on one project and they're thinking, okay, this project is going to succeed. I'm going all in this project. And then that project fails for whatever reason, just like Ben said. Anything can happen, right? Even though it looks like Neo may survive because they've opened a new office, they're working on Neo 3.0, they're going to increase transactions per second, partnerships, blah, 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 right? Anything could happen. We got to look at it from this point of view. You got to be realistic in crypto. If you're not realistic and open-minded and check everything around you, then obviously, it's not going to work out for you. Hence why you should always, enough financial advice, but this is why you should always have a diversified portfolio, right?
Yeah, don't put those eggs in one basket and do your own research.
Exactly.
Unless I told you it's okay, then do it. I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap it up for our special episode number 30 of Beards and Bitcoins. But great news, there will be an episode 31, and we will see you guys then. So we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for coming on, Claudio.
Thank you for having me. And don't forget to check out KryptosChain with the K, all one word, for all the news on simple cryptocurrencies.
We'll put a link in the podcast description for you.
Thank you very much.
See you, everybody.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Beards and Bitcoins. If you like what you heard, show these guys some love and rate review on SoundCloud or iTunes. Also, remember you can always find the guys on social media. The show Twitter page is @BeardsBitcoins. You'll find direct links to BitBoy and JChains from there. Make sure you check for updates, announcements, and contests. Good luck to all who enter. See you next time.